That's what I want. All right. Hey, everybody. It is August 18th, uh, 2025. So, welcome. Glad to have you here. We had a great discussion with the group, and the question was, how did you come up with your first online username? Some talked about how they came up with it as a nickname from their childhood. Some talked about their work first email, um, sometimes doing initials or fun acronyms with it. Um, so it was fun to share. So a good conversation starter. Um, what about your first username? So welcome. And then this is the card that I polled for Better Than Yesterday. An apple a day. Push yourself to eat more fruit or vegetables today. Brain food are real. Plus, you'll be proud of yourself for choosing to nourish your body. So maybe not today, maybe later this week, but maybe try pushing yourself to eat a little bit healthier, especially as the state fair opens up this Thursday. Right. Also this Thursday for people who are interested, I'm going to do the Sing and Share Freely group. We're gonna meet Thursday at Wolf Park at 6 p.m. and we'll go to the parking lot shelter closest to the rec center. And then we'll leave and probably 5 minutes to 7 so that we can walk over to the Veterans Memorial and watch mutual friends, probably our friend Denise perform. So hope you're able to check that out. It's an opportunity. If you have a song to share, you could share as well. I know there's one person who wants to share their song. Some people want to try out their song for the album to see if it's a good community singing type song. So you're welcome to do that as well. All right, so let's get into reading, which I can feel it. This is Spring Forest Qigong. That's a level 1, and it comes with a CD and stuff like that. It's a nice little booklet. And I thought, with the seasons changing, I don't know about you, but I was driving today and I was noticing the fall colors changing already on the trees. And I heard it happens in Minnesota, not because of temperature, but because the UV light is starting to cut back already by mid-August. I know it's hard to say, but it's interesting. This is on page 41 if you have the book, but it talks about weathers and seasons. So I just thought it's kind of fun to talk about. It says changes in the weather in the season can cause blockages in our body. The earth rotates, and as it revolves around the sun to give us day and night and additional seasons, when the weather or the season changes, the energy frequency of our bodies may or may not be in harmony with the energy frequency of the world around us. And in other words, our internal energy may be have not caught up with what's happening to us energetically and externally. So in Chinese medicine, they say on average, which I've heard this as well, the springtime comes, more people have more liver problems. So you'll see a spike in liver problems as spring. That's why in the springtime we do a lot of liver qigong exercises. And as the summer comes, people have more heart problems. And as the fall comes, people have more lung problems. It kind of shifts to the lung energy. And as winter comes, it goes to the kidneys. And that's why a lot of times we talk about in the wintertime, that is the kidney season, because, right, it's winter, it holds water, and the kidneys is about water. So we try to do exercises that supports the kidneys, livers. Um, for summer, obviously, then it would be the heart, but we're approaching into the lung season, right, with a different season. So I thought that was kind of fun to read to you. And that's a nice, easy read. If you are looking for a nice, easy read and you like Spring Forest Qigong, um, that is a nice little booklet. I also love this book, right? The Book of the Awakening by Mark Nepo. And I just like to read his quotes for the day that we correlate. And this one is settling into the weight. Be serene in the oneness of things, and the erroneous views will disappear by themselves. And this is of an author, which I even had to look up because I'm like, I'm not used to that name. It's written by Seng, Seng, and last name TS apostrophe AN. And I looked up that name on Chat. You gotta love Chat. You can ask it anything. So I was like, tell me who is Seng Ts'an, if that's how you say it. But it's a tr Buddhist master. He wrote that in the 606 CE. It was a Chinese Chan or Zen Buddhist master that wrote. So that's who he was. So this is his quote again, be serene in the oneness of things, and the erroneous views will disappear by themselves. So I thought that was a nice little reflection quote. And one last one, right? Cat book. Okay. Oh, look at that cute little orange cat. Okay. Act like you can see things and others can't, just for fun. That's a good one. I like that. How about you guys? Act like you can see things just for fun. There we go. I like that. Someone on the recording is doing that. Yay! I love it. Right? That's a fun, that's a good improv. That's a good dance. Like, yeah. So that'd be a fun challenge. All right. So but don't do it to somebody's on stage and performing because they'll be like, what's going on? All right, so that's a nice little reading. I know there's some others, but I feel like that's a good enough reading for now. All right, so let's get into the song. So the song that I want to share, some of you have heard it before, some of you haven't, but it is a song, and I double checked where it came from because I'm like, I've sung it for so many times that I forgot where it came from. All right, you gotta go. Someone had to go. So thanks for coming. So it's the song Be the Change. It's a common song. If I can put in the, where are you? There's a chat. Okay. Um, and it's a song. So the history of the song. Nobody knows who wrote the song, but it was taught by Doug Van Klaus, who is a famous, pretty popular older guy who's been in the Dances of Universal Peace movement. So really nice guy. And he also, a lot of people learned it from the Great Mother Conference. If you haven't heard about that, that's a wonderful conference that started in 1975 by Robert Bly, a local poet legend here in the from Minnesota, actually from Madison, Minnesota. There's a Madison, Wisconsin, but there's also a Madison, Minnesota, which is really itty bitty tiny town that's actually from close to the town where my mom grew up. And I have like three generations that lived out in that tiny town. So anyways, so it says, be the change you want to see in this world, in this world. So I'm just typing it up because I don't see it. So there's two different ways of singing it. And it sounds really great when you sing it in harmonies, but there's a lower part and a higher part that I remember. There could be more. So it goes, be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. One more time. Be the change you want to see in the world. So that is the nice low part. It made my ears tingle. It's moving energy. And the higher part is be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. So that's three times. We'll just sing it a cycle times. And I just noticed in the chat, I skipped a few words, but I will have it written out correctly if you're watching the video. How's that? And it's easy, catchy, and I know some of you know it already. So I'll do the high part, the low part a few times, high part, just play with it, get a sip of water. And it sounds, you can do a higher part while I do a lower part, and it can just sound really good in your background. So, be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Three more times. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. One more time. Be the change you want to see in the world. So just taking a moment to feel that power of those words and the relaxation those words bring too. All right, nice. Hopefully you made some beautiful harmonies as well. I'm going to move into the movement part. And after the movement part, we'll do a little meditation and lymphatic work and chanting. I'm hoping if we can have enough time. It looks like we do have enough time. So feel free to stand, sit wherever you are. And, we've been on a theme of Tai Chi for better balance. I feel like that would be a nice theme to keep it going. Let me know if you have a different preference. Last week we did it sitting. I say let's do it standing this time because I got my laptop. It's easier. The iPad was harder to show in the chair. But you got last week to reference if you need that. So I think I have a little bit too tilted. There we go. One more down. I'll find the right balance. Hopefully. So let's start off with maybe a little bouncing because I was like that. It's a good way to get our energy present. Maybe feel really nice and relaxed at that song. After that song, be the change you want to be in this world. And taught by Doug Van Klaus um, to a lot of people in the Greek Mother Conference. I know Madeline, she sang it at my birthday party. So, and then I know Brother Timothy Fresnick is where also I learned, where's where I learned it from. He sang it last Saturday. All right, so keep the bouncing if you're able, bringing the hands side to side. And I noticed there is a tax makes, okay, some people have to go early. Just want to make sure. I changed the settings in the chat so it's a little bit tighter. So I'm trying to be more mindful if anybody's in the weight room. So I try to read the messages now. Sometimes I would wait till after a movement. And let's tap the lungs, right? This is a good way to support as we change seasons, going summer into fall. I don't know if about you, but when I'm going shopping, I see all the Halloween decorations already, which is hard to believe. But I guess that is not too far away. And then let's bring the hands up. I guess it's less than 2 months, huh? 2 months away. So, and then let's slowly bring the hands down. All right. Getting more present in our body, maybe shaking out the leg, the wrist, just feeling nice and comfortable in our body. All right, so we're kind of using the warm-ups. That was like a warm-up. As you know, this is a short 15, 20 minutes that we're doing. All right, so if you remember the form, I'm going to mirror you. So whatever I do, if you go, I go in this direction, go in that direction, that's your left. This is right on your screen. For me, it's the opposite. But if I'm going that direction, go that direction. Okay. So we're going to start with movement. Let's review what we've been doing so far the last few weeks and see if we can add on to the next movement, which would be cloud hands. But let's review what we know. I always like doing that first to refresh our memory. So the commencement is feet together, hands by your side, knees are slightly softly bent. That's locked. Just softly bent, pelvis tucked under, right? I'm not but tucked under. And then my back is in alignment with my chin and I'm slightly tucked in. And I've learned, I always say, imagine a string pulling us up at the top of our ceiling, but technically the top of the ceiling, top of our head is more back here than bottom way. So you don't want to imagine being pulled up. The string is more in the back by the byway point, which is the opening at the top of the head. All right, so little fun facts there throwing at you. So let's begin with the commencement. So Tai Chi for better balance, commence, lifting the left foot, hands rise up and come down. I'm holding an imaginary ball on the right side. Engage the hip flexors. The bottom hand goes down as I step out and the other hand joins. And I bring, as this hand goes in, this hand goes in. Holding the ball, all my weight is on the side. I engage the hip flexors, step out, and go to the other side. So it looks really cool, I think. Engage the hip flexors, we'll do it twice on each side. Stepping out, holding the ball, engage the hip flexors, step out, and hold the ball. Excellent, parting the horse's mane. So I rotate out, step out, foot at an angle, hand goes down like I'm petting the back of the horse. I shift the weight back. So, as the toes go up, the hand goes up. And then I shift the weight forward, like right, I'm shifting forward. This hand goes forward and I hold the ball. So there's a lot of synchronicity in that form that looks really beautiful, I think. So engage the hip flexors, stepping out at an angle, shift the weight back, right, pick up the foot and hold the ball. I'm gonna go back just so you can see me, but you don't have to. Engage the hip flexors, stepping out at an angle, shift the weight and sink. Engage the hip flexors, step out, engage, lift up that foot, hand comes up and hold the ball. I'm going to step back so you can see my feet better. Now the next one is the single whip. So I'm going to engage the hip flexor, make it flat like this is a whip. Step out, shift the weight back, turn the foot inward and hold the ball. Engage the hip flexors, the whip, step out, shift the weight, step back and hold the ball. And to signify the ending, hands crisscross and they come down. Knees are no longer bent and bring the foot together. So traditionally when you do the form, you just do one repetition, but just because this is newer and I don't know who's watching it, I like to do it twice so it's easier to see. But let's add on. I'm thinking you guys are ready for the next part. So always do what's safe and comfortable for you. Feel free to make any modifications as needed. And this is the original old form of the Better Balance version. All right, so the next form that we do is we do cloud hands. So this one we actually do step out, so make sure you got space. We're gonna do 3 steps. So when we step out, we do heel first. Some practices, they do toe first. In this practice, it's heel first, very traditional yang style. We're going to shift the weight, soft knees, bring that foot in. Just like I only stepped out a tiny bit, shift the weight, step out a tiny bit, right? It's like maybe an inch, not even. Shift the weight, bring the foot in. and then shift the weight again, and bring the other foot across, and then we would sink. That we would be done. So that is what we're doing with our feet. We do it on both sides, and I can do it sideways so right when knees are soft, right? That's locked, soft knees. I sink into one hip, step out, heel first, shift the weight. So it's in the one leg, bring in that empty foot, shift the weight across. So that's kind of how it looks sideways. Ideally, you do want to shift the weight so that you have all your weight to the one side. So this is an empty foot. But listen to your body. You have permission to do what it feels right. If you have any balance concerns, please hold on to the wall. You can easily hold on to the wall and do this, or hold on to a chair and do this. I welcome you to do anything that you need to. If you're in a chair, just lift up your foot to signify just lifting the knee or pushing down is another variation. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, hands. Hands, you're holding the ball. You engage the hip flexors. Hand goes up, stepping out. And it's like pulling out a stop sign. Bring the foot in, shift the weight. So we do this 2.5 times. So this is 2, because it's a complete move. And now this is a third. When the hand gets to my shoulder, I stop. So it's like 2.5. It's kind of fun. It's really fun, isn't it? So that's 1. So the next one, I'm here. Engage the hip flexors. Hand goes up. I'm going in the direction. So the direction I go is always blocking my chest. So, and that's the hand. And it gets expressed out. The energy gets expressed out that way. And then it goes across. I shift my weight. I sink into my hips. And it's expressed through my hands. And I do it again. And then the third time, when that bottom hand comes up to my shoulder, I stop. So that is waving cloud hands. A lot more complicated. Or cloud hands. They don't call it waving, just cloud hands. When you learn this form, they don't care about precision of the hands. It will just come naturally, but let it be an expression of the body. That's more and easier. But it's kind of like you're holding out a stop sign and the hand comes down. So let's play with it a little bit. Like I said, this is your first time playing with it. Just have fun with it. Okay, so we're holding the ball. We always step out to the left. So I'm going to gauge sinking, I'm sitting on the right, gauge the hip flexors, step out, heel first, holding the ball, right? I'm sucking into my hips. The hands express out, sink, let go, stepping out for the second time. And we're going to do it for the third time. When that bottom hand comes up, I stop. Gauge the hip flexors, stepping out, letting it express through the hands, step in. Doing that for the second time. And then a third. And then we hold the ball. All right. That is a quick version. Like I said, it's very quick. This is a free class. We do 15 minutes of movement, so we have to be really quick. Let's do the whole thing together, what we've learned, and we'll do 1 repetition. So maybe we can do it 2 or 3 times at the most. But let's have fun with it, and no need for perfection or be afraid of it. Knees are slightly bent, hands by your side, and I'll walk you through it. Taking a nice deep, relaxing breath. And Tai Chi for better balance. Commence. Lifting the left foot, hands rise and sink. Holding the imaginary ball up. Weights all on the right. Engage the hip flexors. Stepping out, carry, holding the ball. Engage the hip flexors. Stepping out, holding the ball. Good. Next one is parting horse's mane. Stepping out. Shift the weight back, lift the heel, hold the ball, gauge the hip flexors, stepping out, shift the weight back, and hold the ball. Now we're going to do the single whip. Here's the whip. Step out, shift the weight to the left, shift the weight back, hold, sink, make the single whip, stepping out to the right. Come back, holding that ball. Engage the hip flexors, now the party cloud hands. stepping in, stepping out for the second time, stepping in, and now the third time when that bottom comes up to the shoulder, we stop. Engage the hip flexors, stepping out, blocking the punches. That's where cloud hands come from. It's a way to block strikes to your chest. And now the third time when that bottom hand comes up in the shoulder, we stop. All right, hands crisscross to signify the ending. Hands come down, knees are no longer bent, and we bring the left foot back together. So hopefully you're enjoying that. I'm going to step back so you can see me again. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings. And let's do that again. Letting yourself just relax and soften into it. Let's do it one more time because we need to do other things as well. And let's begin. Better balance commence. Stepping out. Hands rise and they settle. Holding the ball on the right. Engaging the hip flexors, stepping out to the left. Engage the hip flexors, stepping out to the right. Parting horse's mane, stepping out at an angle, stepping back, holding that ball, and parting horse's mane right. Shift the weight and holding the ball. Single whip to the left, shift the weight, making the whip. Bring the hands in, hold the ball, engage the hip flexors. We got the single whip, shift the weight, and hold the ball. Cloud hands, stepping out. Very small, minor steps. Doing that for the second time, heel first if you can. And for the third time, right, when that bottom hand comes up, we hold the ball and stop. Engage the hip flexors. Going to the other side, to the right. 3 times stepping out, but 2.5 circles because it stops at the shoulder. There we go. Hands crisscross to signify the ending. Hands come down, and we bring the left foot back in. And taking a moment to soften the body. So that is a very quick lesson. Let's maybe tap our thighs to crisscross and kind of cool off very quickly. This is, I would give you much more in depth when we meet. And I am offering 2 classes at the 196 Community Ed in Burnsville, in Rosemont. Go on the balls of your feet, tighten up your fist on Tuesday evenings. Right now I got 1 person signed up, so I'd like to have 3 to make it a class. And then, so if you pass the word, anybody wants to do it on Tuesday evening in Rosemont, let them know. And letting go. All right, let's sit down and we'll go into a nice little meditation, quieting the mind. And if you have been sitting, wonderful. Just get more comfortable if you've been on the edge of your chair. And invite yourself to soften into the body, noticing our breath, taking a nice deep breath and exhaling. So I invite you to think about ways you can take on that challenge question that we had earlier today. As we sink into our body into a more quieter state, think of ways that you can eat a little bit better, more vegetables or more fruits. Maybe having it as a snack or as a bedtime snack. What are ways that you can eat more mindfully in your lives? And as we think about the change of the seasons, thinking back to um, the weather changes, right? Here in Minnesota, we're starting to see the fall color, a hint. It always starts mid-August. Um, as we approach fall, what are things we can do to support our lungs? And knowing that they might be a little bit more sensitive Singing, I know, is a great way. No bias there whatsoever. Um, but thinking about ways we can support ourselves. And I know earlier we talked about being more playful. So, what are some ways just to be a little bit more fun? Maybe act like you see something that others can't. Being goofy when it's easy to be serious, right? So thinking about ways you can be more lighthearted in your day-to-day interactions, maybe with people or your day-to-day routine of getting ready for yourself. What are ways you can be more playful or silly? And when you get to that awareness, thinking about ways where you can connect with that oneness. We talked about Seng Ts'an, not sure how you say it, but he talked about when we connect to the oneness of things, everything, the many things that are happening disappear. So connecting to that higher source, that greater connection, that greater knowing, and taking rest in that. So I invite you to invite any imagery that you might come to your mind when you think about resting into the oneness. Maybe you're in a cloud floating in the sky. Maybe you're in a beautiful swinging lawn chair or cot. Maybe you're floating in the water. There's so many imageries that you can maybe imagine, or just walking in nature. Maybe it's sitting in your room where you're at right now. But letting yourself go, the little many things that are going on, maybe sounds that you're hearing, or the texture of your fabric on your body, the tightness of your sandals or shoes. But letting those erroneous things go away and feeling the oneness, that sense of awe that comes into our being, into this body, into your connection with others, and sensing the awe in the other person as well, the other object. You know, if you've got a thing of water, we got this beautiful thing called water, and having that reverence for, water is life. We've heard that phrase a lot, or if you haven't, um, water is life also. So feeling that awe and wonder with everything that's around us and letting go. Maybe the chores, the worry, the body aches, the fatigue. Listening to those things because it's important to listen. Listen to what your body needs, what you need emotionally, physically, noticing the mental chatter and feeling that connection with all that is. It may be a feeling, not something you can speak about or visualize. So I invite you to get into that feeling. And what body part do you feel it in? That sense of awe. Is it in the whole body? Is it outside your body? Is it in a certain body part like your throat or your heart, your lungs? Where do you feel that drawing, the connection? Maybe it's the top of your head. Maybe it's your dantian, your belly. And knowing that you can come back here at any time, in any place, knowing that that sense of awe is with you. that sense of connection, power, the sense of relaxation. And if you can invite it to come in more into your lives, and grateful for the moment that we called it in together, that sense of relaxation in our body. And let's take 3 deep breaths, and you're welcome to move your fingers if you want, cross through your hair. And we'll take some deep breaths. And you can open your eyes if they were closed, feeling grateful. And you can slowly bring the hands through, just signifying the ending of a beautiful relaxation. Thinking about all the challenges things that we talked about in class earlier today. So let's bring our fingers to our forehead if you haven't done that yet. Either up or down sensation, kind of what it looks like. It's like an ant crawling down you. Nice deep breath 6 times to your comfort level. Inhale and exhale. You can breathe in again and exhale. For the 3rd time. For the 4th. For the 5th. And the 6th time. And we're going to release, let that go. Gently going down our face to the clavicle. Sweeping down 5 times. And one more. Going over our head. And over the ears. And maybe one more time. And now let's go behind the head. Going across the clavicle. And maybe one more time. And let's go behind our ears to the clavicle. And if you haven't thought about it, think about that towel or scarf, if you have that nearby. Sweeping to the other side. See, I'm thinking about it as we talk about it. Sweeping. All right, now we're going to do over the chest, going around. You're welcome to have the hand up or down. It's just going around and under and up. And then we'll go over the chest to the clavicle. 5 sweeps up, front of the hand, back of the hand, whatever feels good. On the sternum. And on the other side, with the hand arm or down, whatever you prefer. And over the chest to the clavicle. If you can do this 2 or 3 times a day, they say it's very helpful. And on the sternum. It's good for your lymphatic system. All right, now grab the scarf if you haven't. We're gonna do a 5 upward strokes by the trapezoids between the shoulder blade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do the other side. And if you haven't seen this before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's also another video, the parent technique. The link is in the description field if you watch the video. And the last one, just gently stroking down. All right. I thought it would be kind of fun to do some chanting. It feels really amazing after the parent technique. Let's see if we can achieve that amazingness. So we're going to do 5 breaths with the sound of Om coming from the chest. Then we're going to switch it and do an E sound from the throat 5 times. And then we're going to switch it up and do like an ooh sound or E. I guess sometimes I flip it. I do ooh. Um, why don't we do E at the high pitch for the sinuses, but then this the ooh for the throat. So take that back. So the Om, ooh, E. So feel free to grab some water. All right, let's begin. First one, Om. Om. And if you want to connect your middle finger or any fingers you can, up to you. Let's do that again. Om. 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 One more time. Om. Letting the body soften and relax, taking a moment to pause. Next, we'll be making the ooh sound, coming it more from the throat. Let's take a deep breath. Ooh. 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 One more time. Ooh. Ooh. Taking a moment to soften, enjoy the silence. Feeling that relaxation. We'll do 5 more oohs, or not oohs, but sounds, and that will be E. And we want to try to bring it up to the sinuses, to the um, upper part of our head. And let's do that. Taking a deep breath. E. And one last time. Let yourself relax. Notice how you feel. knowing that you are visible, that you're heard, your body can relax. It's being healed, and your body can rest. And then taking a deep breath, maybe bring our hands together, showing gratitude. Thank you so much for coming. And I'm looking at the time at 7:32, so I want to end the recording so people can say something before they leave. So thank you so much for coming and watching the videos later. Maybe you can share it with a friend. All right, thank you.